Taking some short control, slowly contacting and faking B. This is designed to draw people away from that A connector, over towards B and weaken the A site.
Leaf not to be moved though, and there's a slightest gap in a corner to play in, not stuns up! He's getting two! Just for the troubles, JonahP instantly there with a response. He fills in the gap.
And immediately the pings are coming out in that corner. A flash, a clear, and Leaf picks up 3.
Swinging all the way through here, it's all onto the shoulders of Narrate. Explosive is the opening, but already the net closed. Again, a feign. Fakes on fakes, and Leafy's going to be squaring up to him, but dropped at a moment's notice again. So Zekken has already wrapped his way around. That was a pincer maneuver if Leaf didn't go down in that spot.
Yeah, this is a beautiful round for Sentinels to pull out. Off the barrier drop, that pathing. Seen a lot of the Pacific teams actually running that, where you send your duelist in through B, and they've left an insert of Zellsis. So Zellsis is going to hear a lot of this. Can play as the backstab. G2 would have to hit some outrageous shots to win this round.
Yeah. Zekken's already going to be drawing blood there towards CT. Zellsis, that backup policy, striking from behind. Very forward angle. Yuto's going to be skipping right past him along with the players and the bodies. Might just be dropping and toppling. Valyn is caught in a corner, stunned up. Oh my god! Aftershock is just going to be rinsing him. JonahP sidestep and good with the crosshair placement. Able to return with that fire once more, straight down the gut. JonahP offloading all sorts of bullets.
But a feint from 2 important players for Sen.
Zavos in the stun as well. Great crosshair placement though. Zekken, jawgemo getting one as well for his troubles, and he backs himself out of there on top of it. And it has pulled a bit of the attention away here. G2 are quite scattered in terms of the defensive setup. And Valyn, luckily with the Thorns by his side as well. Those are going to be detonated by Leaf, so it has slowed down the approach by Sentinels, but they do have 40 seconds left to play with. And this game of cat and mouse has just gone the wrong way, but Leaf is absolutely going to be reciprocating. That's a steel guard and expecting an instant response, but Sen slowed themselves.
And here's jawgemo with this late round repush. They're so confident right now, G2. Clearing out. Valyn walking down mid. They've got great information that this is going to be ending C, but Leaf cannot die. Sen need to root him out.
It's a flurry of bullets. Leaf is barely alive. He's going to be limping towards the back of the side if he wants to try and make a play to push this one back here, but seconds to spare. Sen get themselves into the post plan at least, and G2 have that discipline, waiting for the smokes to dissipate. Valyn earns himself 2, still Leaf back against the wall. He's got to know roughly the position of Zekken. Isolated into the 1v1, all for the ace. Dodging, sliding off to the side. Ult expended! And an ace!
5 kills! The fake over towards A long where he collects the first. Coming back in to make sure that his team is bailed out of a tricky situation. A clutch and allows ace. Them to save Sova ult breach ult for post plan. G2 again going for the mid push. They will not be denied.
They're pushing up right behind them here. Potential to catch a timing against them, but it's an open site. An access here for Sentinels. And we're seeing it's an attempt to flood back in, but the players aren't really in position to try and do so. Rolling Thunder expended on either side here. It does push back CT. G2 can't really make a go of things here with a Hunter's Fury on top of it. Might be the cherry on top here, but still G2 are going to be drawing that blood. Leaf finds that opening. Looking for a little bit more here. Armageddon is all being laid down on top. Sen posturing, trying to offer themselves up here in the rate. It's got so much to do!
Because someone on Sen turns up.
Zekken causing all sorts of pressure. jawgemo taking a cheeky peek out through the double doors, and the rate has fallen. 3v5 situation now for them, and Lurk plays called for. Bang, cleaned up. It's all watched for.
And if there was going to be somebody who could step up again for Sen, I think it would have been Bang in this round. He got an opportunity in on A. If he'd won that duel against Valyn, they would have been able to get a free plant and a 3v4 post plant. Now, things are looking almost impossible for Sentinels. The clock's against them, the numbers are against them.
10 seconds left.
Surely it's a round where G2 can stabilize.
Low to a crawl here, it's just second left to stand against it. Being offered a shoulder or two, but the round's already going to be lost, and G2 know it.
I got spike.
Playing this one back. Waiting the timeout here. He's there for Trent, spots it. Waiting for it, and this is a reclear call for, but will the timing be missed entirely? Zellsis is the first one to catch that contact. There's stuns on stuns, and Util in their faces! It's Zekken. Grabs himself 2. Flash, not quite avoided, but the gate crash, okay, will lend you to safety. But Sentinels have access to the site now.
Are they aware of this flank coming around from the flank, from behind? They should know that Leaf's been going for this regularly.
It's already rapid up towards A-Long here. Just a bit of distraction plays being called for these G2 players, though. Stopped in their tracks, and it's up to Leaf here from the side, finally. Takes that time into strike here, but a lot to deal with now if you are Leaf. There's that 3-2-1 swing. Up onto these angles, and right from behind, this is it. jawgemo's time to strike. Brings it true there, at least with the stinger in his hands. Bang, wrapping around now. He's got to try and at least stop this one in their tracks. What the hell happened there? jawgemo. Someone taking a bullet to the brain, but Trent is there, at least with the trade, and this entire time, instead of been creeping forwards, crawling, and open access to the A side is what they've earned.
Zellsis throws down that trip that I think he might have been wishing was on the flank, and they've inserted zekken deep into B. He's going to get good information. They might suspect that somebody's been left in this spot, but do they think it's going to be the Neon?
Already coming to fruition here, still. Plays off into the flank, but G2 don't really have much more control outside of that one. Sight's been flipped entirely here. Sentinels still in a good spot, and that's a stun for a stun and an ult expended. Rolling thunder into your face. Oh yeah, that's a bit of miscoordination, but the aftershock pushed forwards. A bit of spam might earn himself another one. JonahP still alive for now, but not for much longer. Zellsis and John have to join and combine their might to try and stand against this one. Salvos. It's not pretty. The heat's been turned up entirely. John can't deny it into the 1v1. And time barely there for Trent, I think.
That is so close.
It's going to be on the wire there.
They did spot just for a moment zekken's position.
G2 going to be swarming though. This is a quick reaction out over towards C. Senna still going to be reinforcing this one here. Plenty of bodies. Time to stand up to the test. It's going to be sent your way. Salva's in for the back. There's not really much safety. TP into the back. That is risky. But
zekken
G2 looking to fill this one up again. And zekken is there. It's rapid, isn't it? Wrapping around and trying to put that pincer into motion. Still, he's fired off a couple of shots and revealed the hand entirely. And G2 are calling for reactions of their own. They're taking space. They're taking names. It's a feed that's filled up entirely with red. But zekken's still alive. And with that, a chance. The pistol round win. He's already caught that timing here, but double dub found the one. Not quite. Early beginning here. Oh my, just spotting it. Nothing to really obfuscate the cross there. Does valyn even know the zekken has pushed all the way up here? Surely with the thorns deaded. Support arriving. valyn is so fast up onto this line. And he's just going to be meeting a fight straight up with John. Nothing to really support that peak. And the refight is called for by Sentinels again. They are not willing to let that go unchecked. zekken just unleashes. Well aware now that valyn could have taken that time and once more, but he's trying to regroup once up onto that. Narray watching it. Closing in now on all the possible angles over towards C. Might be bogged down a little bit though. There's a lot of Cypher util to contest with.
The trips don't even matter at this point.
Yeah.
There's no spam that Zellsis is going to be able to provide.
That's that cosmic divide. Denying a chance of Zellsis to potentially.
And this post plant is going to be so difficult to crack. zekken is going to have to do magic on the flank.
Flash re-clear, they heard it. Presence in towards Garage. Sanama getting as well to push them forwards. Bang! Barely getting the hell out of there still. As the curtain drops, so does jawgemo with his head just clean off. valyn again wrapping rounds and away here. Watch for, not quite John. Just slacking in terms of that crosshair placement, and now it's a game of his timing once more. That's going to be a pull. Forced out of them just from the tap there, bang. We'll be able to get zekken and not to the half. Not quite, but the salvo is pushing them back in their way. Great util from G2. Discipline on show. Top form on top of it. Now Bang's getting kills, but honestly, the time has already ran out.
And G2.
Stun maybe not intended for that one, but still they clear out Garage, nevertheless. Now with the stars down and starting to spell it out. Nice and pretty here towards Zellsis. Playing around, weaving in and out of the cages, and he's caught that timing. Bullet to the side of the head. Nothing could be said of valyn.
30 seconds left.
Bang all the way up through, into the back now. There could be a timing to be taken. Zellsis still hanging on to a bit of that backside control, calling for the flood attempt, and here it is with a bit of the util. G2 though, they were lying in wait, and they pounce on the timing. That chance to strike. It's a sight that's going to be theirs now. zekken and johnqt left into this 2v3. Just the outlaw, doubled up with the bodies. G2. Swift dismissal!
Have a great chance at defending.
And the Raiders hard committed here. The stun's going to be missing him. Just gliding straight past with a blind and a flash. Okay, there's a trip to try and play off. JonahP right over towards the top and through the wall. And the Raid dodging, weaving, ducking away. And dominating the spot that he's in. Dart in the leg doesn't stop Trent. Yet still that side is going to be opened up. Over towards G2 now in that 2v3. Damage barely done. And Trent survives for now. Plant down. jawgemo, he knows he has to take those risks and loses the fight out. johnqt barely alive for it, and Trent is in a very difficult spot still. Sentinels needed this one near side. Fantastic connection and a good cleanup in the end here by Sen. They're going straight into the setup. Sitting tucked into the corner here, it's a cosmic divide.
They're probably going to expect these trips to be for heaven.
Bang spamming, he's just caught with a bullet to the head there. Zellsis tucked low into the corner. He's not long for the ward there, not with a steel guard and overlapping Armageddon. Everything is being used by G2 to secure this round up.
Oh, Narrate
Chip
takes
damage.
a bunch of damage at the end there, half HP. John has ult, but they're going to need healthy players to follow up on it.
Fun to get Crash backing away here, but he has to shot, caught into the corner. It's a good combination. Stunned up there, second wave of things, and he spotted it. Target acquired. valyn shuts it down. It's all left up to John now. He was supporting from afar with the util, but now left to step up. Earns himself the first one. Damage done to valyn and Jorg. It could be done, but a tap, and it's ice cold by G2. Not a peek, not a glimpse. And now with time played, they win it out. Just one round of stand between them though, and that is aggression. Second punished.
What a punish.
G2 have a habit of this as well. It's going to be that slow squeeze over the course of the round. Zellsis, risky business pushing up like this, but risks are to be taken. Your player down, head of the spear, chopped right off with zekken falling early here. Let's see if the clearance is there, and he hears it. Footsteps onto the corner.
valyn just can't be beaten right now.
No, locked in.
They've left this gap over towards B. Leaf exploiting it. John watching for it. Takes his eyes off it for a moment. But he's got the right idea. They are getting squeezed on the A site.
That's what I mean. Control of the map entirely, almost here to G2, and it has to be heroics in the raid and johnqt. Can they stand up against it? Slide to the angle here. John rattling shots. Found a raid. Guardian can't get it done. One left to do it all. It's bang. And already Leaf has his mark.
Sentinels on split.
Walking all the way up though, that's okay, acknowledgement of a bit of lead still. Zekken! Goodness me. Rapid fire with a ghost in hand. He's just seen a shoulder, might be hunting for a little bit more. 3 in a round for him. Can he get the 4? TP's back to safety, rejoining. Rest of the pack.
And when you have a player that's on form like this, white hot to begin the map, why wouldn't you want to fight? He looks super confident, utilizing Zellsis as bait, and put valyn and JonahP in an almost impossible spot.
Yeah. Walking but spotted. Just to the side here, and a flash and a repeat.
Just in case, but it should make this round extremely one-sided.
Salvos. The stun does force at least the TP back out, but Narrator's just going to be trying to hold down that line, but cleaned up in the end. We'll see if that gun is retrievable. Might have just dropped down.
Where are the other players playing in sight with Narrate?
Yeah. A bit fearfully, I think, as well, with that Aftershock's going to be pushing them back and away. And now doubled up, grouped up, bit of stray spam, but right click, jumping in your face, classic, and that's going to be gun reclaimed. Another layer to it though, G2 looking to step forward once more, trying to fight for absolutely every single inch they can get. Sentinels the ones that slowed down here because this retake is just occurring and the guns are not exactly the weapons of choice. Still John adjusts just in time. Over towards the top though, that is the Sheriff singing out. Rifle by 2 pistols on the side of it, fully invested. Holding down towards vents here, drop down, that's Hearn, just a few kneecaps is all it takes here, chopped straight down. johnqt's there, salvos. Jonah isolated ever so slightly, but he's got backup now arriving as well.
If they do end A, Zekken's been deadly in this anchor position. He catches JonahP, that spike dropped, and he still has a flash to play around.
Tiniest of angles to really work with.
30 seconds
Being played around here, these are Sentinels players hard anchoring onto the site in a position here with a drone out wide. You've got to know exactly where they might be laying here with the stun. It's good, right to the side, Trent! Getting away with bloody murder. Still off to the corner, that's John, yeah, and that prior damage weakened him up. Bit of running and gunning, still it's a 2v3 situation. G2 at least get themselves into the post plan, but more needs to be done by Leaf. Already wrapping, and it's a fast play by Sentinels, they're not messing around. Trying to play this one a bit more loose.
I love that smoke on sight from valyn.
No one watching for main. Snake bites walking through valyn. This is so damn unexpected. It isn't even necessary.
Individually on Heyman.
No signs of life until now. Bang is going to be under a lot of scrutiny. Still with that paranoia is excellent. Nicholas for the fight forwards. Brilliant with the util. It's Narrate making sure to follow up, but G2 not done yet, not done by Country Mars, still has a team flash!
G2 seems to be put all the pressure into zekken.
Trying to clear him out to the angle! Easier said than done!
Send 4 next time, why don't you? 3 wasn't enough.
Here's the next test, jawgemo, not the weapon, potentially for the job, but still he gets it done with a stinger at hand. Easing into it. In through mid. And they've got it all on lock. Sentinels making sure that they leave no openings.
I mean, you can see why G2's game plan would be, let's try to target the weak area where zekken's holding alone. And yet,
onto this line. Jump spot looking for the info. Zekken isolated into the corner. Salvos. He's going to make his position now all the more important. TP doesn't really know where valyn is playing forward. Still, he's going to get out of there. Side opened up, but as we've already mentioned, the use, well, at least the ults, they should be good, but a pit in your face. Might be second-guessing things here. Sentinels, they do have the tools to deal with it.
G2 are so good at playing around these ultimates and creating close sightlines to make the stingers work.
Dimensional Drift even used on his own here, trying to spot out most of these players. 2 up through heaven, 1 just making his way over towards ramp, so calling, letting his team know it's all being cleared out nice and pretty now towards the back. It's Zekken's turn. Ping's going to be highlighting all sorts here, but now it is used. Armageddon on either side here, alternating. And this is going to be a bit chaotic onto the side for about a moment. Kevin, can you pass your way through? Salvos denying the defuse entirely, but swinging out through the back, and Trent left into the 1v1 ultimately. Time ticking, time ticking! And G2 with a gate crash behind. Leaf was just trying to get set up, and as soon as he is, Zekken chances. Salvos over towards the top here with the paranoia, lay it down. Alongside it's going to be an offloaded. Viper's Pit. It's going to be hiding now, blanketing the site ever so slightly here for Sentinels, but time is of the essence of G2. They need that move on. 20 seconds left, a bit of stray spam and hoping, running and gunning. And some prayers for them. Jumping down and away, around to the side. Narrate is handed. A multitude of kills, all to his liking, and poor JonahP. Not much to do in this spot.
They challenged the pit and they lost. Some of those are just going to come down to timings.
But this does put the Sentinels players in a bit of a spot.
Well,
squeeze.
They've got the breach ult though to relieve this pressure. Narrate's got to be good with it.
He's behind most of his team though. He can't really use it to try and reactively help them out. jawgemo straight in. First into the breach. Round to the side. There it is. Team stun in action. And johnqt not long for the world. Narrate. He's tucked now towards the side. A double face and discipline at G2 is all it takes to dismantle it. Zekken and Bang now left. See what they can do. Quick play, flash through. Against this many players. Not taking too much damage.
None, in fact. And
so here it is, double face stop clearance. That's good discipline. Combining forwards now and paving a way to success. Open access to the A site. Everything's going to be open though, so no safe plan in that direction, but plan for main at least.
And this is where you get to see if Sentinels can be perfect in these post-plant spots.
This is reactive, feeling the heat there from Leaf, and now he's going to be rejoined by the rest of his team, and you're right.
John is playing so safe for the salvos, which are back in 10 seconds.
Trying to drag this one out all the way forwards. A lot of util being expended out towards it, and John not even creeping around for the backstab. He wants to play just for the salvo timing, realizing that's the big advantage on top of the players that they've already taken out. Stun forwards, John with a swing. Finally the time to strike is all up in your face. Okay, just seeing absolutely nothing at all there with the smokes. Blanketing most of mid here, but a bit of spam.
Sen have got a lot of room around the map.
Not a lot of time to work with though, off the back of it, but they might have time for a pivot. Especially if that fight goes the way of John, which it does. He's already over. Zellsis though steps over it, and valyn just drops him. Cut down at the kneecaps. Paranoia weaves in, Leaf with the peak. It's a head toppled and rolls. 2 players left now to do all they can. Sentinels with no real time to work with. 12 seconds. Creeping, crawling, walking around, but Zellsis needs to be covered into this spot, and the salvos, well, no access whatsoever to a safe plant. Picked up by Zekken, but at this point, fool's errand. Looking for a brawl, looking to define how this round goes here and now. Who can react faster? That's going to be the question. Utils forwards, flick to the side. Sentinels have got the firing line. Not stopped. Slowed down though, minute on the mark. Got to take that spike all the way back. And okay, evacuation call for. Well, you're going to be running into jawgemo. He hears it. Splashing around towards sewers. Drone. Couldn't break it. Had to commit. Had to get all the way the hell back out of there. TP's forwards as well. Up onto the site.
I think Zellsis took 140 there.
Zekken's anticipated with the pathing. Forwards down into hell. And Zellsis is the last one standing. They know exactly where he is. G2 going to be giving you Okay, well, pressure mounting here by zekken. Dimensional drift, spots out of one. Essential that jawgemo was able to get rid of that drone, but he's still going to be stunned up into the corner. He's sticking around. Finally TPing back.
What the hell is valyn doing? It's
Okay, TP forwards, or at least a fast flank is called for. Not sure how valyn got there into the end, but it's a plan nevertheless. Sentinels get themselves into a tight, tucked spot. Into the post. Where's the next level of things here? It's an aftershock into the corner once more, but evacuation again. Pulling back and away. G2 just trying to bleed Sentinels out. Time being bought, util held, and guns not at the ready here. valyn, right from behind.
Lost 100 Thieves, lost to Leviathan last year, making sure that they don't lose again.
Trying to defend this one, they don't know where the TP is, but finally, okay, set your sights onto it, valyn. He knows where this one's coming. Anchor Smoke's going to be layered down on top of it, double TP into the back. That's Paranoia, should be a connection onto a multitude of them. Just a clone, but not going to be faked out for too much longer. 25 seconds left. Sen, they call for the pause, tempering the moment for just a bit.
But there's so many defenders here.
Here it is, util in their hands. Smoke's dropped down, and valyn lights them all up. Open access to the bodies here in a fight. League out of dodge. He's just waiting for the last possible moment. Dramatic effect and all, but Sen need a bit more than that now with the drone to lead. The charge! Zekken's there alongside it. Taking damage into the process. What's the next level to it? Timing taken, slipping past it, in through the smoke, and JonahP seeking to just try and drop down is punished.
Good trade.
Sentinels though, time to shine for them. Rolling Thunder cleaving his way through the site. Now they've got the B site open access, but Trent has already weaved his way in through the back and snaps up. Reaction, and there's the follow-up. valyn's right there. Paranoia sweeps through, narrate. Happy to try and step up towards it, and valyn almost there with that reaction, but dealt with. All down to Jorg now. Retake with the op. And Zellsis cheeky with the off angle. Yeah, that's gonna be. Might be meeting a lot of them again. The drone causes issues this time. Oh my! Leg shot! 30 seconds though.
30 seconds left.
Is this angle anticipated either from JonahP? You're hearing it now to rumble up through vents. Surely heard and spotted. Stunned, slows him down. Salvos trying to be used here. Sen are being slowed to a crawl. Got to get a move on, but you're really just being bogged down by the multitudes of util the G2 have in their back pocket. There's another one for you. Stun forwards and whipping, hopping all around. You're going to be meeting your match into the blade.
It's been exact mirror of the first map.
Careful here.
Second wants to increase that tempo though here with the dimensional drift. Pings it out where the players could be. jawgemo forced back out of the fight. Happy to play the retake though. There's G2, especially with that rolling thunder forwards in their back pocket. Pit though might cause difficulties. Slow down for now here, but the salvos, Paranoia, it's going to be pulled out. Sentinels trying to set themselves up nicely into this one. Random spam! That's the one player that could not go down with it. The pit dropped down. And Sentinels left lacking, left gasping for air here. G2 just don't. Final moment before he eventually evacuates. Clearance in through mid and a timing, potentially there. No!
This is a full A-pop.
Zellsis wrapping around here, critical with the kill, and JonahP just decimates him, ends him. Arc control, giving up. Zekken looking to see if he can reclaim a bit of that territory. It's going to make all the difference to Sentinels here. Pistol round to get the plant down, and damage has been done prior, so easy cleanup, but I think you can expect this one. Wrapping around again, second go of things. Leaf, salvos potentially to push them back at Zekken. Handed, potential chances, bang, potentially stealing away, but Leaf has slipped it. All the way through into Art.
John's the playmaker, though. He's
Knocking
got
around.
all the way behind. 8 seconds on the salvos.
That's going to make a huge difference. He's missed it into the timing. Bang, though. Might be able to deny, at least with that damage done. Surely valyn onto the defuse. Time has been missed. Salvos lay it down, valyn. Hot feet. He's got a lot to ask now in this spot. Smoke. Propped up and bang! Pretty decent bonus round, JonahP. God. Bumbling into the walls a little bit there, but still gets away. Nice and healthy. So they're not shy whatsoever here. Willing to try and step up. Zekken side steps. So Caesar's going to be dodged. A refight call for here. G2 is trying to make sure that they can remove this space. But a rifle in hand. It's bonus. There's a lot of danger towards it. Zellsis. How the hell is this guy still breathing?
29 HP with the regen shields. This round was supposed to be going over towards B. You could see because of where John was taking the spike. And instead, the Art players find so much success, but with Narrate falling,
yeah, surely leaves caught here,
again.
indeed, yeah, again. wrapped from the side. 3v1 now for jawgemo. In the right place at the right time with the weapon at hand. There's a chance with Zellsis low enough as he is.
Spike planted.
To the post plant though, plenty of ults of Sentinels to expend. Angle watch for, and splitting into over towards A. Cosmic Divide. As you already mentioned, Josh, now's the time to let those ults shine here for Sentinels. Full clearance though, G2. Giving up control, but backside is laid bare. Second. Happy to play around this spot here. Needs a bit of an evacuation policy though with the TP, and he could just be getting pressured at a moment's notice. Steel Garden, it's even better. It's all being slowed down. Sentinels, full access. Still haven't been able to get the plant on. Okay, and that might be a bit of a problem.
I mean, this might be a bit of a problem. jawgemo coming from the flank.
Yeah.
The vice wall was put in place to stop a flank from mid.
Nightfall, util used. Armageddon! Can you run? Can you escape? Right into the maw. It's open access here with the rifles in hand and still deafened to nothing but Sen. Happy to just all the way stand up tall and proud here. Yeah. jawgemo's flank, not a problem anymore.
I thought somehow G2 were going to be able to avoid it and frag out. But Sen just had so much control there. G2 fighting mid on the eco. Super classic plan, and they've caught Bang in the corner. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, Zellsis in the corner.
Still, and dealing with the rate off to the side. It's an aggro play by G2 on their own half buy, potentially something to turn the tide of the way that this map has been going.
John might be stuck, or he might find the timing on the timing here.
Balance right there behind. Thorns are deaded. Supplementary. A bit more bits and pieces are led here. Valyn. Oh my, it was a silent hop up, so he wasn't quite ready with a gun out, but eventually gets it. Now just johnqt, 1v4. Trent, unfortunate with the timing there. He was watching that for the longest moment, but just turned his back towards it. johnqt has got a lot more to do, though, in this spot. The spike has been definitely dropped and isolated, but so are these fights. Making sure that they double up here, but the timing is mid. G2 getting active once more, all the way through. Doesn't care about the team damage from their own salvos. The horn, a little bit delayed in the making, but Jorg's here. Flown into the face, will Bang be baited? Not quite, he's white. Swinging! Oh my god!
It didn't even mean to kill Trent!
That's collateral damage. Difference maker for it. Leaf now wants to try and get ahead of this timing, but this is all fake pressure. Just a clone that was laid down prior. These players at G2 are going to be trying to re-clear some of this space, but they're going to get their answers a little bit too late. I think Sentinels are already making their way over towards A.
Money in the bank for G2, so it's worth still fighting. Even though they're in the 3v5. You're hoping just to force ultimates out, if you can. I mean, winning the round would be amazing, but at least make it dangerous, make it costly.
The ultimate util spells it all out here towards Leaf. Oh, the bullets!
How is that possible?
He rattles them into the chest of Zekken, and still he wins the fight.
That's such a good kill for Zekken to get.
Backside controls now theirs in a 2v5. Highly unlikely here for G2 to still make a good go of things here, but there it is. But this time, though, bit of trouble because Zekken, dimensional drift forward, spotted out the players. Gives his team the information to work with.
You are divided.
Even clear out most of the way.
Really good ult combo again. The Yoru ult into the Astra ult, and you just get the whole side for free. Zellsis still has his to work with if things get difficult, but Bang fell.
Yeah, finally, up top section of mid here. jawgemo with his own ult as well. He's trying to flip this one all the way around. Zellsis is isolated in towards the back, and jawgemo has cleaned him up, but the Steel Garden will still lay it down, overlapped. Sound cues cut away here from Sen, but finally fading, returning to their senses, and narrate, gone walkabouts, rewarded. Haunts up and over towards the top. Difficulties now for G2. They still want to try and make a go of this one, but the reveal is big. Trent snaps to the side, a quick 180, dodging, juking, Armageddon though. Lays it down by some time, sidestepped, he's low enough himself. Salvos, JonahP, he's denied for it, but he's earned himself at least half his team for it. Potentially a chance for Trent. Time of the essence ticking down.
And they're doing a good job at controlling G2, who are once again trying to force the fight.
Yep, forwards up here, trying to take this one with the bodies, and they do have the guns at the hand here, obtaining a couple of upgrades, but that's a big presence to showcase. No fast reaction.
But for some reason, I feel like this is going to be a 10-2 half.
Yeah, I mean, Sentinels have been winning so many of them, and it keeps rolling.
It's just moments like that. Leaf should have had him dead to rights.
There's no stopping him. Plants down. Two big ults to use if you are G2, but Valyn has been damaged in the process towards this round. Still alive, though, for now. Sentinels are forced to play deep tucked onto the side because of that Cosmic Divide. It's just been layered down now, but Trent does have the right tool for the job again. Pushing them forwards, out into the open. Salvos spraying and praying. Zellsis!
Nation and just miss it.
Salvos onto the corner. Trying to punish potentially with it, but yeah, walls up and over. Again, you can navigate it. It's going to slow you down. Just a tad here.
A flash for Zekken. Could go crazy.
Refighting right into the Salvos, though. There is all sorts going on here.
Down B.
Turn up the heat there towards outside lane. Spike's going to be dropped down, but recovered. 25 seconds left. Your options to pivot are limited if you are G2.
But there's nobody actually defending A.
All full evacuation, isn't it? Sentinels have just been reinforcing, but now they're going to hear it. And yeah, okay, noise being made.
But they're going to be late to it. This plant is going to go down without a hitch. G2 with an opportunity of winning a 4v5 post plant.
Like a heist before our eyes, to be honest.
Don't know how they got away with that. Valyn, he's looking to try to make the play. And John thinking about it, watching for it. The two IGLs trying to find the timing.
It's all about those mind games here, and what a flash as well. Leap forwards with the fight. Crossfire setter's going to be set up with him and Trent as well. Just a slight peek, backing away. Trying to hope that these players open themselves up into the maw, into the classics in hand. Reloads but saved. Trent off to the side, and Leaf has not been denied. Nothing can take this guy down now. 1v2, John. 3 bullets left to do it all. Wraps his way. How the hell does that happen?
It only takes a couple.
They're stacked up. Doesn't matter that they're on an eco here. They can do some real damage, especially with that util. Sentinels!
Down B.
Filled up the feed in their name. Dropping guns towards their back.
Leaf with only a ghost to work with and a drone in his face.
Spotted out, overwhelmed, swarmed into the spot, and this is it. G2 just really rushing into things there, not navigating the spot that they were in, and Sentinels are going to be calling for this, and it's going to be a 3-2-1 swing together. And a presence here from G2, they're making it known. Not shy, are they? Knocking straight at the door, to be honest.
They're trying to catch a player that might be playing over towards mid. You know, somebody that's playing in that connector. But instead it's a vice wall here. And they've managed to find the other side of it. So full mid control for G2. A little bit strange as well that when Sentinels took A main, they didn't feed the orb to johnqt. Because he would have had the tail ult online.
But they got straight past his timing. I don't know if Zellsis is going to expect this one. Might be fast, but okay, here's the footsteps. Valyn!
Valyn's stinger is gross.
Pure disrespect. Gun picked back up here, ferried back. They can't let that one get into enemies' hands, but G2 onto the side here with a bit of a plant of their own as long as there's no funny business. Those go down, straight bullets slowing down Valyn, but he's still alive. And now post-plant begins once again, and we're going to see it. Salvo's up in 15.
Yeah, you have pull, you have salvos, you have people at close range with stingers. It's a hard retake for Sen to win.
George's going to be that thorn in their side as well. What is that?
John didn't even get a look in.
Just shuts the door in the face of Sentinels.
Historically,
there's 2 players putting the pressure now, applying it onto Zekken. Can he deliver? Shots missed! Oh, right. Evacuation there with a gate crash again, but it's watch 4 as well. These lurks. Realization by Sentinels that they have lost that mid control.
A little bit timid there from johnqt. Might have been able to catch a kill.
Quick tap. Looking to try and force some of this util and buy a bit of time and space for the rest of the team forwards. Somehow Leaf gets that one. Zekken can be dropped here. Plant now down. Into the post plant we go. John was not baited into the using this ult. It means they can use it now for the retake. jawgemo is forced to step forwards, and he's only on single digits almost of HP. Trent with that fire over the shoulder just takes out Bang, and he's caught a timing of his own, wrapping all the way around. This is going to be so unexpected for these Sentinels players.
And you've still got pull. Here come the salvos.
I say it's going to be unexpected. John was aware of the fact. Zellsis forwards, he's going to be done. But here's those salvos, like you were saying. Delay, the stall. Dragging this one into the bitter end. JonahP finds it. Time ticking though. So is the spike. Chance is nigh impossible. That's the trouble we were talking about it. You let G2
playing. They fall back into really safe positions, and they double up with people like JonahP, for example, who can take contact against them. Like Jonah's job here is just to defend Trent, essentially. He's got his own private bodyguard. Yeah, there's 4 players.
Are Sentinels on half armor, so could do some damage with that one on top of it here. Dimensional drift clears the way, spots out 3. Do you call it cancel? Do you want to hard commit into this? Back through into it. Bang. He's not shy, he's not scared, but now we'll have to back away here. But there's a Thorns by his side, stand up, spam into the corner. There's no real chance for him there. Too much util. Kitchen sink being thrown at him in the process. jawgemo's earned his team a bit of a foothold as well. Calling for the pause as well and causing a re-clearance called for here by Sen. Wide face, John. Just step up to it. Armageddon out. Lay it into the back along with the pull. No player's going to be falling prey to this one. It's up to John to stand down against most of this team. G2 starting to get their footing again to this side. Slowly but surely the discipline is there. Making sure that they can. And an unfortunate 140, but whips it back around. Zellsis. That be long control. Zekken at the forefront of it. John gets broken. Very much far forward here with a steel guard, and Zellsis getting a bit of a move on. He's still going to be caught though, so he's not going to have a gun to try and help Zekken out into this spot. Zekken very much alone. Util used, ult forced out of him just to try and get the hell out of there. Spots the two players making a bit of a wrap around and a move around. Sentinels haven't given up a lot of map control though. If the pivot is called for, G2 might find themselves in a bit of a trap.
30 seconds
Wall
left.
chords, it's fakes on fakes, obfuscating where the intention is. G2 running their way back. Zekken though spots it out. Space is still being held down, and he could be that difference maker. TP in, and it's not expected. What a play!
That's so sick!
Past the cosmic divide. Completely hides the intent, jawgemo. He wants a little bit more.
They might have just delivered a bit of a death blow here to Sentinels.
And they need to win this one. It has to be the full investment. And what's the case with the economy? Nightfall up and over. A lot of Qs cut away, but the util's going to be broken down anyway. Up through the top, Sentinels are going to be doubled up. Valyn can't hear a thing. You have to rely on it. Raw reaction times, and a crossfire setup is there. G2, they let nothing slip. They hear it scurrying away. The rifles!
The rest of the team isn't really going to have that Yoru flash to go through the smoke. Do they mix things up? Bang takes the timing inside.
All grouped up, bang. You've been a playmaker, and you are once more! Two! Immediately ripped away. Dodging and weaving as bullets whistling past. He's grazed. Limping out of the fight for now. But he's bought time and a lifeline for Sentinels themselves. It's what they needed.
They so desperately needed Bang to be a hero.
30 seconds left.
Stray spam again.
Concealment.
Any player at G2 could fall at a moment's notice, but now here it is. Second wave of the util once more off to the corner. That's a stun! Bang! Still, where's the response? Steel Garden is there. No weapons at all. Nothing to work with. Shorty in hand.
For Sentinels. And now a bit of a
Straight into it,
scrap.
man. Yeah, these are players, these are bodies that are going to be facing up here. Sentinels! It's almost everything thrown at them. On either side here for G2. They get the advantage now. Dimensional drift. Can set the pace a bit differently here. You could speed up on the backside of it here, especially with jawgemo spotting out two of the players. Thorns drop down. Dimensional drift is going to be fading. And now that Armageddon paves the way potentially to success for them. jawgemo, though, you got to try and get the hell out of there. The clone's going to be eating the bullet for it. And the call is made to try and fight forward. Sentinels, it's about how they absorb this now. It's a gambit to be played, but the round swings on its head. jawgemo rips away two lives. Sentinels have got to get it done now with just Zellsis and Bang. Spam into the corner. Spotting over and over. Bang. Still trying to spam them down. Leaves it just down. Definitely done to leave.
Sen, so fast to try to respond to this, thinking that it was going to be one of the B execs that G2 have been running. A re-clear too. They have too many bodies on this side of the map. They needed the info. They need to spread the defense out again.
jawgemo's causing all sorts of mayhem. Making all sorts of noise as well. He's pulling bodies straight back. Sen were happy to fast rotate to try and follow where the action could go.
And they think the action is still coming B. The spike is still over in that direction, but G2 look like they've got the read from Leaf. They should be heading away from jawgemo. jawgemo fires a couple of extra shots, just trying to keep bodies secure on the B site. And he has, he's kept them there. 4 players for Sen, none of them budging an inch.
My ult is ready.
johnqt does have the salvos. When he sees this one coming, he's going to be able to at least respond to delay this plan from going down. Chooses to use them
Thorns as
early.
well.
Yeah,
30 seconds
Thorns.
left.
This slowed, time bought.
But this is going to be a plant. This is going to be post-plant setups.
Into the side, John! This could be it. Talk about a turning point. All it takes is one more round, and johnqt delivered them a worldie of a round so far. Enough to potentially take them to the finish line. Oh, it's expended at this point. Jonah rips away 2, but he needs more where that came from. Off to the side of Jar with a movement, weaving in and out. Sentinels! Be exchange on either side here now. Position of the knife was getting antied quite hard by MIBR. Aspas was taking liberties pushing into mid. It looks like Zekken wants to have a chance of his own. It's a flash to try and push past, but immediately dashes back, but he is hard committed! Oh my, almost doesn't matter, but still traded out in the end. That's valyn. Pushed up deep now, and just like that, first domino falls, the rest of them topple.
Yeah, a couple of players over towards Catwalk, really wanting to try to force the fight, hoping that the rest of G2 would still be focused on zekken.
But that opening, I think, tells me quite a lot when I'm watching this VOD back. And like I said, when G2 were playing against MIBR, the position of the knife and their opening defaults were getting antied hard. They were already making changes and moves and maybe coming to fruition unless John can do something about it here and now, but no. Too much there. Weaving in and out, playing off each other beautifully.
And you talk about momentum, this pistol round on the attack side is hyper important on Ascent. On the attack side of Ascent, you might only win 3-4 rounds on the attack side total. Yeah. So being able to pick up a pistol and probably the follow-up is enormous. Just changes the numbers so much.
Major difference indeed. Zellsis looking around here, but almost still being saved here by G2. What a util here by G2. They're just trying to potentially pull players. Util of their own. Over the wall, jawgemo. Just dropped. Zellsis has his eye on that one.
That's the most common position for the Vice Wall, so a bit strange that G2 got caught out heavily by it there.
A lot of pressure, though, still being applied, and that means 3 players of Sentinels are still here, so anchoring onto the side, it's all onto Zellsis and zekken. See if they can stand tall against most of this one. Only the one for zekken before he does go down, and a pause is called for. G2 don't have a lot of time to work with. They're hoping that Sentinels will overplay themselves, potentially into them, but now they've got to try and make a move forwards, and Zellsis could be that win condition. Not quite just a one, but yeah, right from the side. No, right. Cat is sufficiently defended there. Up through tree, the Armageddon does need to be watched for. Bang, salvos at your feet as well. That's a tricky spot indeed, but already dashed in, disengaging, and now the double faces there from G2! And anticipated with Bang's position. Takes out 2 of them immediately. Sight potentially theirs as well. The Rage is trying to pick them apart! Trades there instantaneously. Trent finds it 2v2 now. Spot the G2 were in as well without too much control of anything else. Uncertainty. That smoke fades as well. Zellsis might be caught very unaware. Just on a perch, and he's already isolated just the one. And valyn low enough that it should just be easy.
Sen fought them in the choke point. Look how quickly jawgemo was forced to use his refract. He got in with a double dash and a bunch of util. I mean, G2 used tons of utility to try to set him up, but he was forced to...
Still in control of it. Jump spot gets a good acknowledgement. Oh my, that's a bullet to the head though that you're not looking for. Still, we're gonna see it now. Dividing straight up into the side here with the salvos towards the back once more. jawgemo needs to lead the charge for the rest of his team. They don't have control of main though, and a dash straight forwards into the arms of Leaf. Here the Thorns waiting for now the Armageddon. This is going to be chaotic indeed. Swinging from the side though, just finding that timing to steal guard and rips away a lot of the weapons, but the util is still good. Sen have chances and more. Zellsis finally removed. Thorn in their side. Bang and johnqt, they're here, forwards, trying to...
zekken with the Blade Storm, or bang over towards A main, who's been phenomenal.
Deep drone. Leaf's going to be inserted as well into that forward position. Pass most of it here, the flash to the peak. That's a great refight. Sentinels can overextend into this spot, but with nothing watching their backs, they're trying to carve out a path out towards tree. They've dropped the spike in their laps though. Definite options here, and Sentinels could capitalize. Flipping the map entirely from them, and what a shot by Bang! Still, he wants to step up even more here. There's confidence. You can see it in the way that he's playing. Bullets are going to be ringing out.
On the other side of the map so that the KO ult from JonahP can't catch him.
Primed something there with the salvos held onto the appropriate angle, saturated into the corner.
He was expecting a flash.
Yeah, he was. Turned to the side, almost expecting it, as you said, pre-anticipated, and watching all the angles as well as that response from Sentinels dragged them out.
This is just unbelievably good from jawgemo to be able to pick up that second kill as well. A 5v3.
Smoke fading, re-exploration again called for. Bang has to take risks in this spot. It just doesn't clear the right corner. Whiffy a little bit, but jawgemo gets the job done.
Don't miss me too much.
And this is all just with 50 seconds left to play with. G2 just standing down their ground.
Yeah, there's so much time. G2 have been putting a serious focus on mid, baiting out Zellsis' wall. It wasn't there this time. He'd thrown it over towards A. But I think G2 know that. They're going to be running an anti-KO setup, so mid's going to be weaker.
Can zekken get it done? He has a lot of util to try and play with here, but already dashed back into the salvos. There's no safety whatsoever.
And Zellsis, he had a couple of 4Ks on Pearl, but this in a one walk down mid and take the fight.
Onto the one side and the other. He's going to be used in response there with a saturate. You can see it pushes back. Zekken, barely alive, just has to updraft and scuttle himself away, but he's dropped down to low HP.
Jorg looking for a timing.
And here's a fight to be had. Narrate, realizing it, there was a gap there. He's making sure to control that space up through it.
And Zekken backed off to lane instead of B main. Remember last time he got caught in B main on the B split. Now adjusting his setup.
This is a slow siege indeed by G2, still waiting for that util, and the knife does rain down.
If Jonah uses his ult, all of this Vice util will go.
Very pushing forwards, here it is. Ults, now use suppression across the board. And how do you battle your way out this one for Sen? There's a timing to be taken through the smoke. The Zellsis there do it. The side players, they need some help, supportive util, or do they Zekken just the one? Instant with the trade, again G2. Reign supreme across the site, but no extremity control into it, and time is of the essence. They need to get this plant down and it needs to be held. In a 3v3, definite chances, and Sen looking to take it now. Can increase the tempo with that no command up forwards as well. Jump spot gets the acknowledgement. Nobody's players are, but Bang is just holding his ground. Util into his hands, snappy from Zellsis. Blind is even better. Up towards lane and a swing from behind. Bang is just jump spotting underneath.
And Narrate is going to be under crazy pressure because when this comes in through A main, if he turns his back for a moment, there's a backstab on Catwalk.
Already laying down the smoke.
30 seconds left.
Wine going to be cleared. Narrate. You stand against it, the heat's going to be turned up now straight away. Convergent Path's going to be slowing it down to a crawl double dash up and over towards the side. Safety there, Bang. Paranoia, brought enough time forward and even dodged that one to saturate to the side. Bang! That's unbelievable! And just like that, scattered to the wind. JonahP and Leaf are forced to do it all. Smoke's in your face as well, and bullets are raining down on you. Umbrella's not going to be saving you much from that one. Leaf. Very awkward spot indeed. ISO's one. Position noted though. Expecting a second updraft over towards the top. How the hell do you control? Okay, you're going to be taking contact first here with the drone. Ah, this time there is no escape. Suppressed up, there is no dash out to safety. Zekken finally.
But these B players can't really rotate over towards A.
Still Garden. Stretching over towards the side here, but this is all just fake pressure once more to saturate. Oh my, light speed. And he's out of there. Bit of a squeeze being placed now up towards Tree and just a shorty into your hands, but Bang, you got your weapon back and the flash is impeccable. In and out round to the side. jawgemo with the movement, but Bang cannot be denied. His time in the sun, it's already that 2v2 and his game of timings right from behind is taken. Bullet to the back there, execution star from Leaf, and it brings it just down to Zellsis to see what he can do in this spot. Still Garden, even better. Leaf going to be backing away now, doubled up. Discipline to be played for these G2 players. Wrapping around all the way as well, not
He's just baiting.
anticipating. Yeah, it is just bait. Trying to pull this one out all the way. Now they know he's not on it. Very difficult task indeed for Zellsis.
Disengage. So that makes it really tough to send 4 players through A main.
Might have spotted on the minimap, I'm not too sure. At least the suppression came through, so.
Yeah, they know exactly where he is.
Yeah, they caught him. And here it is, re-cleared core for flash over towards the top, and salvos Narrate does fantastically to even get one in that spot.
But again, take a look at Leaf, all the way behind here in spawn.
Oh my.
This is a mad timing. He's got the read so well.
They're watching for top mid pressure, thinking that somebody could have looked all the way up. Did they spot that one?
I think Bang,
sure.
yes, Bang saw him.
Yeah, it's pinged. Bang, notifying the rest of his team. It's doubled up and held here now. Get a bit of a move on once more. Marathon sprint across the map.
Well, you just know that B is undefended. If Leaf is pushed all the way out through B, then it's empty. These rotators for the defense are going to be trying to race you, and it's a fake. Sen ascending the footsteps in this direction while the spike goes back into A.
One
it's
step
all on
ahead.
valyn.
All on valyn indeed, and he's just caught that timing against it. Zekken was hard clearing onto the one side of things. It's caught out now. Reinforcements are going to be arriving. Desperate at that for G2, but time is of the essence again. 12 seconds. It's counting down into the round in a double phase. Trent and valyn putting a stop to all of this here with only seconds remaining. There's no more chances now. It's run dry and shy, and all they have to do is live. Kills a consolation at this point. It's a pistol round win for G2.
They're not the type of team that we expect to go for the force. They won some important ecos earlier on. There's that little jiggle that just gave the game away on Leaf's lurk. But in the end, it didn't matter.
Yeah,
and it was
going to be met. There's plenty of bodies ready to receive here on G2 side of things. Going for that refight as well. The Paranoid sweeps past, but it was a window. Slightest of gaps to second place. Airplane Bucky on Ascent. We've all seen the damage done, and that might just put a stop to what Sen were planning. They've called for a bit of a pause.
Zekken's deep down mid. Valyn's fighting Bang. Smoke v smoke.
As it dissipates as well, there's timings and fights to be taken on either side here, and Zekken is still doing work once more. 10 HP doesn't matter. And Bang just slips his way all the way in.
But here he has no information about where the Sentinels play his opportunity to farm up this ultimate.
These G2 players right here, jawgemo under the threat here. Heat's going to be turned up out of the pan and into the fire. It's Sentinels. 2 quick ones earned as well up through heaven. You got to try and deny this purge that Leaf is sat upon. They do just that.
Nice early use of the ultimate. Completely caught those players on tree. And Bang, he holds heaven.
Oh, he's barely out of there. Zekken, he's still alive.
Q combo.
Bang forwards. Oh, he's blind as anything. Doesn't matter though.
He's been magnificent today, hasn't he, Bang? Just catching the perfect timings with the perfect off angle. And G2 react with Jorg and Leaf walking forwards, possibly straight into the arms of Zekken.
Yeah. Zekken has been able to backstab multiple times here, but Leaf is watching for it.
Oh, the Tejo ult.
Hold on, Armageddon's going to force these players forwards as well. That is a pick your poison situation. You are stunned up, and my goodness, what a way to deal with it.
Oh, that's immaculate from Trent.
It's a 2v3, turned on his head immediately. Zellsis, you have the ult to work with again, but look at this, the positioning of Leaf. He's already here. I think he can hear it. Rumble of somebody's footsteps, convergent pass just to slow them all the way down.
Launching thorns.
There is that uncertainty. Sentinel's trying to slow this one down and hope that Zellsis will be offered up a couple of picks here, but with the util out in the open, doesn't expect that. Pathing, it's going to get predictable. I'm going to get the plan here, just taps, hoping that it just pull one of these players out wide, and Leaf is just smart. Too smart for these games as well, doesn't really open himself up for it. Spamming, spraying away, but time is already going to be played. As long as Trent stays alive, it's going to be another one added to the tally. Set their sights over towards A.
And A is weak.
And the hand with the flash. G2 are playing passively enough though that this is a chance for them. Jump spot, JonahP.
What a hold.
Yeah, they're willing to give him that control as well, and that refight is called for with a paranoia, but up through mid now. Door in your face. The rate, you have the salvos to instantly break this one. You can pop out onto these players, but the Steel Garden is again going to be lying in wait here from Lee. He's going to be slowing down these players out towards the back of the side and dashing over. jawgemo denies him at the doorstep. Saturate, potentially even better, but Zekken does put him in his place. All the way forwards now with only 15 seconds left. This is G2 jumping on the chance. Death by 1,000 cuts indeed. Sentinels between a rock and a hard place. There's no chance for them to get this spike down safely, cleanly, whatsoever. Saw plenty of hero plays from these Sentinels players, and again, as you said, Josh, this is ass off once more.
Oh, he's got stuck.
He's out of there, but he does. Oh no, no dash available. No dash available, and he needs to deny this, at least with the kills. Zekken forced into a difficult spot. He wants at least to fight his way back out of it, but jawgemo! Right from behind!
No smoke over towards Market. I think Zekken assumed that that was being covered. Then again, it was all chaos.
Bang up towards Cart. Just with the movement as well, the refract in the back pocket, jawgemo. Tail end of the duration of that one still, he's alive. That means a player advantage for G2 to play around.
Narrator's been holding his ult for such a long time. Can he find some value out of it? They've got to turn a player disadvantage.
Otherwise it's going to mean G2 up to 12 here. Up to series point in our grand finals. Push forwards, pop flash in, and this is it, Narrate. Just being swarmed. Of Americas, at least domestically, to be one of the first teams to get the back-to-back. It's up to Zekken to try and put a stop to that. These dreams and hopes of G2 themselves, but already dashing forwards. This guy has to be the tip of the spear, but he's just being isolated still. They deal with Leaf. Armageddon in through the back. Finds a bit of time and a bit of space as well, but they have to deal with Trent, and it's a stun against the back wall. He's penned himself in. Skipping and hopping all the way through as well. Zekken isolates it, finds that fight in DG2. Just relentless. Making a move on now, still with that player disadvantage. jawgemo though, cleans it up onto the side. It's all down to him into this spot. Sentinels earn themselves that breathing room. Dealt with, but Sen have got plenty more waiting for them on the other side of the A side here. A lot of util expended.
But again, I think it's going to be a retake. We're looking towards Trent and jawgemo and how much value they get out of the ults.
Huge ults.
Sen are controlling catwalk and tree. They're not closing the door and locking themselves in on site.
Because they know they have to fight forwards here. As soon as the ults are used, find a timing, a window of opportunity here against G2, and here it is. First ult going to be sent out. johnqt already catching it. Convergent pass Zekken. He's isolated on a bloody island. Slow to a crawl, but he still gets the one. Sentinels, can they do it? Pull it back from the brink, but again they're isolated, cut out of the sight, divided away from it, and spammed, and stuck away. Sen dropping like flies, and for G2, in all eyes, into the hands of Trent.
He managed to avoid elimination in the lower bracket and cement that legacy again today.
G2 making history, and here it is. Your Stage 1 2025 America's Champions, G2.
Doing what everybody expected of them, but started to doubt. This team has been dominant throughout the whole of this year domestically in Americas and just started to slip up